Big field.
Way big field.
Very
If
big
you
field.
see deer like running behind us,
Mm,
yeah, just know that I have somebody watching over my safety. I'm
yeah,
protected.
Mike and Gemma, by the way.
Yeah, that's who that is. Yeah, no,
There they
no,
are.
no, no.
Well, they're mooning the camera.
Yeah.
Literally.
Mm-hmm.
Mike, Gemma, say hi. They don't care.
No, I really don't. Okay.
They don't care about you.
All right.
We do. They don't.
So we're going to talk security. Of course, we had need to talk security. So what we're gonna,
It's a school bus dropping off children, not ours.
I think what ends up happening that we hear a lot is you want to stay with your safety net rather than go to the fire.
Yes.
Like we talked about the
Yes.
fire of shit, and you want to just still be in the connection, but you just don't know how to make a choice or a decision. And that's kind of like what happened with you and Ron, right?
It's very much what happened with Ron and I. Um, I met Ron after I met Lee. Um, I was at a point in time in my life where it felt safe. Um, he was safe for me. Um, and a lot of you are in that situation where your spouse is safe for you. Um, it's safe for you financially. It's safe for the kids. It's a family unit. It's established, and it's safety,
And the one thing missing would be love,
connection.
among other things.
Um, you could be even sleeping in the same bed or not. I don't think any of that matters. I think what matters is the fact that the injustice that's not only being done to the person that you're with, but the injustice for your kids or for their kids, but the injustice to yourself.
Mm. But you feel secure in it.
But you feel very secure in it, and you don't want to jump. You don't want to jump from from a secure place of peace or outer peace, not inner peace, outer peace, into an ice cold pool.
Mm.
Because that initial shock, and you don't know what's going to happen.
The ice cold pool would be the unknown.
Yeah.
And that's usually what people run from.
And
they run from the unknown.
It's the fear that they're jumping into the lake of hellfire and brimstone.
Oh,
that's the fear that they're not gonna get out of what they're experiencing. Plus. So
yeah, you almost start getting into the mindset of I wish I could just combine these two. And you what you're really asking for, you're not even willing to let come around. Because I would tell you, everything that we tried to push from not having security was very unsecure. And she'd had it. She had the home, she had the pool, the backyard, the kids, the dogs. You had it all, and you were like, if I choose this other, I'm not going to have all of that. I'm going to disrupt my household. What you're trying to say is, I'm not going to choose connection. I'm going to stay out here disconnected. And then you're looking at them saying, well, why don't you choose me? And they're choosing they can't choose disconnection. You can try to choose disconnection, but you're only going to end up disconnecting yourself. So you feel secure being disconnected than you would feel connected. It's almost like it's backwards.
It is.
You think that just because this connection has found you, you want to live in the connection, you want to be in the connection, you want to experience the connection, but you want it with another set of rules that that you would need to be secure. Security is the last thing you're going to have when you're living your life. Security is what you have when you're already dead. And that's pretty much how we live. We live with the comfortableness of not making changes and choices in our life that we know is going to change us for the better, although we think we're going to impact other people. See, the thing about that is when you've made yourself miserable, you're only going to share miserable. So if you're comfortable and you're not happy, what are you sharing with the people around you? You can't fake that. That's not something that you should do, because that's how you've disconnected from yourself. And then, the choice of, Well, what if I do all of this change and they don't choose me? Oh, so you're making them responsible for what you want,
Hmm.
but you won't do. So what you're saying is, well, I'm going to do all this and then they're not going to be there. See, you're already creating what needs to happen for you to feel as low as you possibly need to see if you'll choose yourself. Why not choose yourself beforehand? Because this is about you anyway.
Hmm.
Um, but the security part of it is I could give all of this up and for this. And what you're really saying is that you're going to give all of what up, really. I mean, you're making your outer reality.
All of that joy.
And there's nothing,
All of that
there's
joy.
no, if this is an inside connection and you're trying to make your outside experience happen with it, you're disconnecting. You, it's almost like you want to say, hey, look, what I have in here is not going to be out there.
Right.
Because what you're in, it's not out there already. So you need to stay comfortable with it, keeping it in here. Because if somebody really gets to know you, are they going to like you just the way you do? Are they going to love you the way that you do? Because this is what you're going to have to change. See, it's choice. Choice has always been the issue. You'll either be secure or you won't. And I would tell you, after we finally got past that barrier and just said, go with connection, we lost everything. We lost we gained so much more in connection than we would have ever gained staying in security
Oh,
and staying in disconnection
yeah.
from that security.
Hmm.
Um, and it took, and the universe had to keep giving us lessons over and over about
Over
what
it.
we saw in connection to find that we were looking for security. Security is just as easily an illusion as control,
Agreed.
because you
Hmm.
think you control everything that's going on around you by lying, by not telling the truth, by not experiencing connection. And then you go, well, I'm this other person I could tell everything to, and they don't judge me, and they do. And but at the same time, what you're actually experiencing is your own disconnection, and you're secure in
That's exactly what I was about to say. And you feel secure in it.
it. I read your mind. I heard you.
I feel secure in it. Yeah.
Hmm. So, what is it that you feel you're going to accomplish by staying secure? Oh, kids home. Yay. What are you going to experience? You're going to try to predetermine or read the future or mind read the results of what choices you need to make for yourself. And you want other people to be responsible for what you're going to need should you make this decision. That's not making a decision.
I don't want to uproot my kids. Aren't they already uprooted?
Yes, it wouldn't make sense to bring your kids into a connection so they would understand that connection exists. I get it.
Yeah. Let's not try to bring them into relationship.
Yes,
Let's not do that.
let's let them see me
Yeah.
play a role so they'll know how to play a role, and this
Hmm.
is what they'll duplicate.
Hmm.
Because this change is here for a reason. This connection is here for a reason to bring about change. We're all connected, but some of us are very strongly connected, and some of us are connected beyond what this world would even know. And we have the ability to change something somehow. But we're choosing security instead. We're choosing the outer world instead of the inner truth, the inner world itself. I mean, isn't it time for you to break through security to be free? Wait, let me say it
They're
again.
waiting until they're more secure.
Did you hear that? You
Yeah.
got to break through security to get
Great.
free.
Free. Yes. They're waiting till they're a little bit more secure.
They're doing so without a helmet.
That's what's happening. They're waiting until this one starts this sport or this school or they turn a certain age. Or they're waiting for the spouse to say, I'm not happy. Or they're waiting for a foreclosure. Or they're waiting for the finances to get better. What are you waiting for?
Waiting.
What are you waiting for? Um, it's a jumping it's a
You,
jumping scenario.
is that called comfortable impatience?
It's called comfortably numb.
The wall.
with my classic rock background and history, it is called Comfortably Numb, which is exactly what it feels like.
Hello,
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 hello.
hello.
I am proud to say that we are coming out with a secret today. My twin flame is indeed Mr. Incredible, and he must go off and I don't know, save somebody from something.
Have you seen my super suit? Oh, wait a minute, wrong character.
You're right. So I'm sure you've seen
Cameron,
the.
Cameron and I have these shirts. They're pictures
He's,
of. Yeah.
you know,
One's something a little
he's
different.
mine.
I'm not of this
Oh,
world. I don't have to wear what everybody wears.
he is indeed Mr. Incredible.
So
What was his power anyway?
he was super strong.
Okay, I get it.
Yeah. But
Oh,
I
photobomb.
believe he was also super
Come on.
vulnerable in the movie too. He showed
No,
how a
never
man
mind.
can be vulnerable. So
Yes.
here's the thing: don't be secure in what you think is security, um, because it's false. Especially if nobody knows your truth, and you're choosing secure rather than choosing.
Yeah, but let's touch real quick. I don't want to keep him real long. Um, let's touch real quick on security and union. Now,
Mm.
it's
Do we even have that?
it's a double-edged sword when it comes to union. We are absolutely not secure in our security. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I don't know how to explain it. I am completely secure in our connection.
Mm-hmm.
I am completely secure in our union.
Mm-hmm.
Relationship is iffy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
At best.
it at best it's iffy. Um, you know what? Could Lee run off with somebody else? Lee probably Lee wouldn't, but he could. Um, does that make me insecure? Absolutely not. It makes me more secure in knowing that I'm so secure that if he made the dick move, I'd be like, "Bye, Felicia." Knowing that we are in connection and connected, and that he would be on a journey to find that connection and would know. Does that make sense?
It makes sense, but it doesn't make sense with my belief system.
Right.
I don't see any. I don't see not being with you. I don't. I can't even see
Well,
past
no, no,
that.
no, that's not what I'm saying. Because I could never see that either. I could never even imagine a separation ever again. What I can imagine was the human aspect of coming in. Because there's a lot of people are
Oh
they're going,
yeah.
what if, what if, what if, what if?
Right.
I'm going to tell you what if. You know, what if is what if. We don't live in what ifs. I know in my security and in myself that I couldn't even imagine not having you in my life. That's
Right.
secure to me, and it's secure knowing that I know your soul and I know that that's not in you. But in the human aspect, we our union is a little bit different than a lot of other leaders out there, or a lot of spiritual people, or a lot of teachers out there, in which
We're coaches. We. I don't know if you know
and
that.
that's it. We're coaches. We're not gurus. Please, I don't like that word. Anyway, um, um, I'm secure in the fact that I know you, and I know your soul, and I know where it is. However, should the human aspect come in, all of a sudden, I don't know, you have a stroke or something, and I don't know. I'm secure enough in myself to know that I'm secure in that.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think makes the security heavier or
Okay.
more bonding. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Um, I do get, every now and then bouts of could I lose him? I believe that it would take me losing myself.
If you're not in union with you, you lose me.
Right. And that's the big thing that I wanted everybody to hear is there's security inside of the insecurity.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to union, please understand that. And Lee and I choose to um, live a monogamous um, union. We don't allow others in, and we don't entertain thoughts of that type of thing. And we do have a very close connection where we're together nearly all the time. We do have things that we do outside of one another. We're not codependent. We do things outside of one another. Um,
But
And
it's
we're not insecure people. I went to a wedding with my friend on Saturday night, but you weren't sitting here insecure, wondering where I was at and what I was doing, and blowing the phone up. I don't even think you called once. No, but you understand you understand what I'm saying, though. There's so much security
I went.
in.
Here's the thing, and this is what makes up my belief system. What I internally know about this connection.
Mhm.
I'm never disconnected from you because I stay connected to
Right.
me. So anything that you're doing, even if you're not with me,
Hmm.
you're doing it with me.
Right.
If you're out, if you decide to be with somebody else, I'm gonna love who you love. I'm
Hmm.
not going to
Right.
make this into. See, that's where disconnection gets
That's where
opportunity.
disconnection comes
That's
from.
where thought process comes in.
Hmm.
That's when security needs to be at
Hmm.
play because I'm not fighting that. I realize that there's something much greater than myself,
Hmm.
and it is the self.
Right.
It's
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 the
it's
self.
it's the part in being. See, we do too much thinking and not enough being, and I've realized that I like to live my life in being, which means I don't have to be disconnected from you. We can flow and do things completely separate, but to me, it's like left hand and right hand can both. It's like we're ambidextrous. We can both
Right.
operate in the same
Yeah. Same
energy
one.
field,
Yeah.
even if we're together or apart.
Hmm.
And that's kind of what I think, brought us together even more. Was I just stopped resisting. I
Hmm.
stopped making it. Well, why is she still with Ron? Why isn't she with me? We're connected. They're
Hmm.
not. I was making those kinds of rules up in my mind and was going against the flow.
Hmm.
Seeing that I was going against myself never gave you an opportunity to choose me.
Right.
So once I realized that, I had to break the security
Hmm.
of those kinds of rules because those rules are what create security. Because, well, wait a minute, I have this person here who wants to be with me. They want, we have a home, we have kids, you have all of that security. But what you're saying is, yeah, I'm against me in here because of them,
Hmm.
and I can't choose them because I don't even know how to choose me. I
Mm.
found a way to break free of that. And it was in my internal belief system that, wait a minute, if I can love without conditions, if I can unconditionally love, why am I pointing out all these conditions that need to be met in order for me to feel that
Hmm.
when I already felt it? And my issue was I was resisting. So when I
Hmm.
finally just went with the flow and just went with what it felt like, that's when my opportunity to be vulnerable showed up.
Hmm.
My opportunity to show love showed up. My opportunity to be with you no matter what showed up.
Right.
And it was standing there staring me in the face, and I went, "Come here, you." And that's kind of how it went,
Right. That's how it went.
because it
Yeah.
wasn't a fight between me and myself anymore. And see, it made much more comfortable surrounding for her to go, "What the hell's going on with you?" And all she saw was peace.
Hmm.
She didn't see, you're not doing the right things. You're not making, you're a failure. You're choosing this. You're doing none of that shit comes coming out of my mouth. I was like, I was just sitting there smiling. She was like, "God, you got a big smile." I'm like, "Leave my smile alone." I don't want to see any remarks about that. But it's almost like all of that showed up,
Hmm.
and the security from me at that point melted away because I was secure in connection to you no matter what the
Right.
choices were. No matter if we were together, if we were other people, I knew that it didn't matter. I'm always going to be right here in the connection. And that's what I think that's kind of what we were talking about when it meant vibration and frequency can shift you and pull you apart so you can see what you're disconnecting yourself from before it even gets to somebody else, especially in this connection.
Yeah.
And I think, seeing that happen and feeling the way that felt, it's still amazing. And there's no other place I'd rather be. Your kisses still make me feel magic. I still feel wonderful touching you. I feel wonderful looking at you. And this is the part where I remember this is a family show.
Show.
So we're going to
I
talk
want to
like.
dumb that down real quick before, so they understand.
Mm,
Um, when I went with a friend Saturday night to a wedding, and I was joking with Lee and said I don't think you even called once. It's simply because we were still together, even though we weren't physically together. And I wanted to make that real clear that
it is,
we're
but
always together. We're always physically together, but
yeah,
when we're not able to, when we take that moment to the grocery store or to go get my nails done or for him to go get his hair cut, or if I'm going to a wedding with a friend or if I'm going to lunch or some with my kids, if there is moments of physical separation, it doesn't feel like a physical separation. It feels like we're always there anyway.
for me, the physical aspect has merged with the non-physical
Right.
truth. So even if you go to that, if you go, I'm physically with you.
With me,
I
yes.
really feel it. I can feel if you're having a good time. I can feel if you're ready to come home. I can feel if you're, I can feel if you're thinking of me. I can feel if you're dreaming of me. I can feel that.
Mhm.
So to me, it's the same energy, close or far away, because we've merged. And
Right.
there's a part of the acceptance of merging because I understand my masculine and my feminine and have merged them together. So it's not like I can pull them apart and go, yeah, she's over here and I'm over here. But if it's that way in here, it shows up out here. So it's always in there that way.
Right.
And to me, that's what this connection was about in the first place. It was about me putting those together in here, regardless of what they've been taught.
If you're in a situation and you're secure in that situation, but you don't want to be in that secure situation, feel free to get a hold of us or one of our amazing coaches. But
And remember, think of us as the FBI. And the FBI, well, the FBI in this would be feel blocked inside. We can help fix that. Come on, security. The relationship reinvented FBI. Feel blocked inside.
Yes. All right. Well, you haven't seen The
I have
Last
one
of
for
Us.
CIA. I'm just not going to say
I
it.
was just getting ready to ask, but I'm not gonna. We do. What is it?
Nothing. Maybe for another video.
All right. We're not going away. There's plenty more to come, and you're not seeing The Last of Us.
Nope. See you inside. Get it? CIA. Oh, that was wrong.
That
See
was
inside.
so wrong.
See inside, asshole. There, see, I told you that wouldn't have came out as good.
And
as the
C
other.
is S.
Yeah, but I like the C inside, asshole. Just that CIA. Mr. Incredible. It's the Incredibles. Or Credibles. However you want to do it. I don't know. We're having way too much fun. We love you guys. We'll see you soon. Of course. We'll always see you soon.